We first and foremost want to congratulate President-elect Donald Trump, who very soon to be President Donald Trump, who we believe is going to make a lot of changes for the better, for America, for Israel, for the world. And we say also from here, greetings to the majority of the American people who voted for sanity, who voted for real peace, and who voted for somebody who cares about the survival of the Western civilization. About sovereignty. Already in 1967, when we won the war, we should have applied Israeli sovereignty over all those areas that we liberated, which is our God-given biblical heartland, Judea, Samaria, Jerusalem. Those are areas. We just celebrated Hanukkah. Hanukkah, the holiday of Hanukkah, already in BCE, 145 BCE, there was a Jewish kingdom here, way before, hundreds of years before Islam was invented, before Christianity was invented. We were here, a Jewish kingdom in the heart of Judea, in Judea and Samaria. There was a Jewish flourishing kingdom, a flourishing Jerusalem. And in 2017, we hear that we have no connection to this land. So in fact, when somebody at the UN or Mr. Kerry or Mr. Obama try to tell us that we have no connection to our homeland, it is not only a vote against the settlements. It is really trying to disconnect the connection between the Jewish people and its homeland, the land of Israel. And because the connection between the Jewish people and its homeland is a center pillar of Judaism, basically the vote, or those who try to disconnect us, are basically not only voting against the settlements, they're basically having a vote against Judaism. So this was really when Minister Ayelet Shaked said it was an anti-Semitic vote or statement. That's how I understand it, that she meant. When you try to tell us that we're not connected to our biblical homeland, you're trying to basically attack Judaism, because to be a Jew is to be connected to the land of Israel. So, to be connected to the land of Israel, what should we do here is to apply sovereignty. And that is why, unfortunately, it wasn't done in 1967. That is why the two-state solution cannot be and will never happen, because the same way you in America are not going to create a state of Al-Qaeda in New York because you had some terror attack there, we are not going to create a terror state in our midst because this is our land. And that is our main argument. This is our land. And in order to show that this is our land, we have to apply sovereignty. Our movement, Women in Green, has been pushing for the application of Israeli sovereignty. We are so thrilled to see that a large majority of the ministers in this Israeli government are in favor of the application of Israeli sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. The majority, more and more people in the Israeli people want Israeli sovereignty. And we hope that all together we will give the strength to Prime Minister Netanyahu, who finally, after 8 years of suffering, an era of Obama, and he stood firm. Bibi Netanyahu stood firm against Obama in the Iran deal, and he prevented the creation of a Palestinian state, because let's us all remember that the first person who wrote a book against explaining why the Palestinian state would be the destruction of Israel was Bibi Netanyahu in his book, explaining why we cannot create a Palestinian state. And he stood firm to prevent the creation of a Palestinian state. And now, all together, all the ministers and the people of Israel have to give the strength to our Prime Minister to do what has to be done historically, morally, politically, the application of Israeli sovereignty over Judea and Samaria, which means that Judea and Samaria will finally become part of Israel like the rest of the country. And I have a little secret to tell you. A lot of Arabs also want so. They're not going to tell you that now, because they might be beheaded if they say so on camera. But it will be better and good for everybody here in the area. The creation of a Palestinian state is the end of Israel. That's not going to happen. We are here 750,000 Jews, and we are going to bring more Jews, and we are here to stay forever because this is our homeland. So what's the alternative? Only one: the application of Israeli sovereignty over Judea and Samaria.